A very good morning to everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the Bulletin this Sunday, the 13th of April, 2025. You are listening to the club station of the Sandton Amateur Radio Club, ZS6STN, which is operated today from the shack of Stuart, ZR1 Whiskey Tango in George, Western Cape. It is a cloudy day here in George at 16 degrees C and 22 degrees C in the shack. This club bulletin is broadcast every Sunday at 8:45 local time on the following frequencies: 45.700 megahertz FM in the 2-meter band, 7115 megahertz lower side band in the 40-meter band, today via a relay from the shack of Chris, ZS6GM. And finally, you can also listen on Echolink, ZS6STN-L, and all star nodes, and various other 2-meter repeaters that are linked to via all star nodes to this. This bulletin is being recorded by Marius, ZR6MS, and will be uploaded to the Sandton Amateur Radio Club, ZS6STN's YouTube page. A big thank you to Marius. In the bulletin today, we have the SARL General News, followed by club birthdays and club news, the special topic of interest, and finally the general call-ins and swap shop on 40 meters Echolink and 2 meters. Right, we start with South African Radio League news for Sunday, the 13th of April, 2025. Good morning and welcome to the weekly news bulletin of the South African Radio League, read by Stuart, ZR1WT in George, Western Cape. In the news today, SARL briefs SABS Technical Committee on the increasing RF noise level. The IARU Centenary celebrations and World Amateur Day, 18th of April, 2025. Stay tuned for more on these and other interesting news items. We begin this bulletin with the news of a silent key. It is with deep regret that we must announce the key of Fredericus de Vries, ZS1ADD, also known as Prof, went silent on Friday the 28th of March 2025 at the age of 88. We extend our sincere condolences to his son Frikkie, family and friends. You are listening to the news bulletin of the South African Radio League. SARL briefs SABS Technical Committee on the increasing RF noise level. Right, this is the SARL news for Sunday the 13th of April. We're at the point where SARL briefs SABS Technical Committee on the increasing RF noise level. On Tuesday the 8th of April 2025, the SARL briefed the South African Bureau of Standards EMC Technical Committee, which is SABS TC73, on the increasing level of radio frequency noise on the HF spectrum, which is also slowly creeping into VHF and higher frequency bands as more and more devices, which, in addition to their design purpose, unintentionally generate radio signals. The SARL was invited by the TC3 chairman, Frans Zabisa, to address the issue under Agenda Item 7, Emerging Needs. There are many culprits in the scenario. We keep developing and manufacturing devices which unintentionally are generating radio frequencies, often over a wide frequency spectrum as byproducts. Hans van Groendahl, a ZS6AKV, told the committee, amongst these devices are LED lights, from the ones we have at home to street lights, traffic lights, solar installations and electric car chargers, to list some. The list is endless and increasing at an exponential rate. We cannot sit back because even if the desired noise limits are agreed, there are many rogue manufacturers and dealers which happily sell these in quotes, noise-generating devices, leaving out filter circuits to cut costs. He told the committee that RF noise was like climate change. It keeps creeping up. Scientists have warned the world about the impact of CO2 on the climate and how weather patterns will change. Governments have been slow in reacting, and today we all suffer from the consequences. We should not let this happen in the radio frequency spectrum. We need to put programs in place to collect and document evidence to convince spectrum regulators and industry bodies that unless action is taken to regulate against unwanted and unintentional RF transmissions, which are just noise, radio communication is going the same way as climate change. He briefly explained the success of the dark enams and the SARL experimental RF noise monitoring projects and shared the URLs of two excellent video presentations. He ended the presentation by calling for stricter enforcement of compliance to EMC standards, installing several interference field strength measurement systems, reporting into a central database to collect meaningful data to strengthen the case for greater vigilance and enforcement to protect the radio frequency spectrum. After Q&A, the chairman requested the SABS TC73 committee members to share their views before the next meeting so that a plan of action can be formulated for discussion at the November 2025 meeting. We move to the IARU centenary celebrations. The IARU 100-year celebration will be on Saturday, the 26th of April at Hotel Pullman in Paris. The event is arranged by the IARU Secretariat. The IARU Region 1 will be celebrating its 75th anniversary on the 24th and 25th of April in Paris. Part of the celebration is the Region 1 interim meeting, which will take place at the FIAP, located in the heart of Paris. On Friday evening, the Region 1 75-year celebration gala dinner will be held on a private cruise on the River Seine. Wow, wish I could attend. On Thursday, the 24th of April, the HF Committee C4 and the VHF Committee C5 will meet between 14 and 1800 African time. On Friday, the 25th of April, the day starts with a plenary meeting at 8:30, followed by C4 and C5 meetings at 10:30. At 10:30, the EMC Committee C7, the Technological Working Group, and the VHF Committee will meet. And from 15:30 to 1700, the IARUMS scope intruder watch information, the satellite information, and the Youth Committee C8 meetings will be held. The various documents to be discussed can be found at conf.iaru-r1.org/documents. All the meetings are face-to-face with online attendance via the Zoom platform. Various SARL councillors, working groups, and coordinators will be attending online. You are listening to the news bulletin of the South African Radio League. World Amateur Radio Day, 18th of April 2025. Every year on the 18th of April, radio amateurs worldwide take to the airwaves in celebration of World Amateur Radio Day. It was on this day in 1925 that the International Amateur Radio Union was formed in Paris. Today, amateur radio is more popular than ever, with more than 3 million licensed operators. The IARU is pleased to announce the theme for 2025 as Entering the Next Century of Amateur Radio Communications and Innovation. World Amateur Radio Day is an opportunity to reflect on our achievements since 1925. We should celebrate our diverse community and advances and innovations we have made as we look forward to celebrating the IARU centenary next weekend. In celebration of this event, ZS100SARL and ZT4T will be active on Good Friday, 18th of April. Members of the Bulletin Amateur Radio Club will be on air with a special call sign, the ZS100SARL, from 8 a.m. to 2000 hours. For now, the station will mainly be on 40 meters SSB, but bands may also change depending on conditions. The idea is to give mainly South African stations the opportunity to contact ZS100SARL. Logs will be uploaded to SA-QSL, where contacts can be confirmed. ZT40, operated by Young, ZS4JAN, will be active on 40 and 80 meters as weather permits. QSL via the SARL electronic QSL, a direct special event QSL card, is available on request. The Sasolburg Amateur Radio Club is 60 years old. The Sasolburg Amateur Radio Club is celebrating its 60th anniversary in 2025. The club is also hosting the 2025 ZS4 QSO party, which will take place on Sunday the 13th of April, which is today. Several of the Free State clubs will also be on air, and each will guarantee 5 points in the log. Look out for ZS4BFN, ZS4B, and the 60th anniversary of the Sasolburg ARK, with ZS6STN as well as the ZS4 SRK call signs. Both clubs' call signs will be on the air. Certificates will be given to each person who sends a log to the committee at zs4srk@gmail.com. We move to the propagation report. Hannes Katzir, ZS6BZP, reports that solar activity is expected to be at low levels. There are currently 9 sunspot regions with simple to complex magnetic configurations visible. There is a high probability for C-class and a low to moderate probability for M-class solar flares. If you want to do your own frequency predictions, the expected sunspot number for the week is around 87. The 10 to 20 meter bands may, especially in the late afternoons and early evening, provide some good DX fun. Please visit the website spaceweather.sansa.org.za for further information. Finally, in the SARL news, a diary of some upcoming events. Today is the ZS4 QSO party. 15th of April, the end of the SARL 6-meter challenge. 18th of April is Good Friday, ZS100SARL and ZT4T active for World Amateur Radio Day, and the registration for the May RAE closes. 20th of April, Easter Sunday. 21st of April is Family Day. 22nd and 23rd of April is the Lives Meter Shower. 23rd of April is English Language Day. 24th to 26th, the IARU 100 and Region 175 celebrations in Paris, France. 25th of April is, and finally, anyway, from the diary of upcoming events, on the 27th of April will be the Freedom Day and Morse Day. This concludes our SARL Bulletin for this morning. We welcome your signal reports, comments, and suggestions. Please send these by email to artoday@sarl.org.za. You have listened to the news bulletin written by Andy Kearns, ZS6ADY, proofread by Paul Johnson, ZS1S, and read by Stuart, ZR1WT. Stay tuned for ZS6STN Club News. Sandton Amateur Radio Club News. Let's start with some birthdays of club members. Coming up this week is ZS6 Romeo Echo November, Renato Gordon on the 17th. Then ZR6 Delta Hotel Whiskey, Diana Hardress Williams on the 17th as well. ZS6 Hotel Echo Romeo, Derek Hertz on the 17th. ZS6 Alpha Kilo Hotel, Kenneth Howard on the 18th. And ZR6 Mike, Kevin Frazier on the 19th of April. Congratulations, and I hope you have a great day on your birthday. Best wishes to all of you. Right, let's have some club news. Keith, can I call you in? ZS6HI, this is ZS6STN standing by.
Good morning, Stuart. Audio quality coming into my QTH is beautiful. So that all-star link node of yours is working very well, and a very good morning to all on frequency, and hope you're having a great Sunday so far, and congratulations to those having birthdays. Yeah, Stuart, I'll just go through a little bit of some of the highlights at the moment. Just a reminder to everybody, obviously, that the ZS4 QSO party takes place this afternoon, and that's always a fun event. All these regional QSO parties are fun events, and it's for an hour or so, and you will enjoy getting a few more contacts into your logbook during that event. Then on the 26th of April is the SARL 40-meter club contest, and we would obviously like as many members to be participating in the 40-meter club contest on the Saturday, the 26th of April. And then on the last day of April, the 30th, is the Power Hour Tech Talk that will take place, and our club meetup at our Bryanston venue, our clubhouse in Bryanston. So we would like, obviously, many members to participate in the club meetup as possible, and then also to participate in the Power Hour Tech Talk. We are waiting for the chair to make a final contribution on the Power Hour Tech Talk. There has been a change. Last week we communicated that we would be doing the de-expedition, but that's been changed to next month, so we will put the topic up shortly on the Power Hour Tech Talk on the 30th of April. Then just keep in mind, in terms of the diary of events, the weekend of the 3rd and 4th of May is the SOTA activity weekend, and that's always a good one. So grab a buddy or two and find yourself a peak, go out there and have some fun over the SOTA weekend. And why not, if you're not interested in climbing on top of a summit, why don't you go to a local park and you activate a local park using the POTA references? I'm sure the SOTA guys would love to have a chat with you in your local park, and you can do a SOTA to POTA or POTA to SOTA, and that will be a lot of fun during that weekend as well. And it's always better with a buddy, so grab someone and go along and have a picnic, and maybe make some contacts during the SOTA activity weekend on the 3rd and 4th of May. Obviously, we've been highlighting it several times, so you probably think I'm a broken record, but remember that the SARL National Convention starts on Friday the 16th of May with the dinner, the Pretoria Club dinner in Centurion. Then on 17 May, you will have the AGM function, visits to the various stands, because I know a lot of the clubs have various stands, and the mega flea market that's going to be in evidence put on by the Pretoria Club. So we would love everyone to support that as possible in Centurion. And then that evening on the 17th, Saturday the 17th of May, is the awards dinner, the SARL awards dinner. So that will be an excellent one as well. If you haven't put your name down yet or paid your fees for that, please do so. It's not that expensive, and it's going to be the event, the SARL event of the year. So do follow through on that one and do what you need to do for the SARL National Convention. Then just a little bit of a report back. The QRP contest was obviously held last weekend in Soleil, and we also did an HF assessment on the same day, and I have got good authority that at least 2 of the students have completed their HF assessments now. So congratulations to those guys, and the last hurdle is in the way now, and that's the RAE exam in May. So this is just, guys, do put that last little bit of effort in. Believe me, the exam sounds worse than it actually is, so we would encourage all our candidates for the RAE exam to get their HF assessments done if they have not done so, reach out if they need any help, and Gerrit and Samir and the RAE team with the lecturers, a very big thank you, and they will also reach out to help you.
This is ZS6STN news. We're going to move to the special topic of interest. Right, scientists complete the largest wiring diagram and functional map of the brain to date. This has been reported in www.sciencedaily.com. You can just search. It only happened on the 19th of April, so you can just have a look there. It's one of their headlines. So this is called the Microns Project, which is the machine intelligence from causal networks. Is considered the most complicated neuroscience experiment ever attempted. From a tiny sample of tissue no larger than a grain of sand, scientists have come within reach of a goal once thought unattainable, building a complete functional wiring diagram of a portion of the brain. In 1979, famed molecular biologist Francis Crick stated that it would be impossible to create an exact wiring diagram for a cubic millimeter of brain tissue and the way all its neurons are firing. But during the last 7 years, a global team of more than 150 neuroscientists and researchers have brought that closer to reality. The machine intelligence from causal networks, acronym Microns project has built the most detailed wiring diagram of a mammalian brain to date. Today, the 9th of April 2025, scientists published the scientific findings in Nature from this massive data resource in a collection of 10 studies in the Nature family of journals. The wiring diagram and its data, freely available through the Microns Explorer, are 1.6 petabytes in size and offer never-to-be-seen insight into brain function and organization of the visual system. The Microns advances published in this special issue of Nature are a watershed moment for neuroscience and comparable to the Human Genome Project in their transformative potential, said David Markovitz, PhD, former IARPA program manager who coordinated this work. The IARPA's moonshot investment in the Microns program has shattered previous technological limitations, creating the first platform to study the relationship between neural structure and the functions at scales necessary to understand intelligence. This achievement validates our focused research approach and sets the stage for future scaling to the whole brain level. Scientists at the Baylor College of Medicine began by using specialized microscopes to record the brain activity from 1 cubic millimeter portion of a mouse's visual cortex as the animal watched various movies and YouTube clips. Afterwards, Allen Institute researchers took that same cubic millimeter of the brain and sliced it into more than 25,000 layers, each 1/400th the width of a human hair, and used as an array of electron microscopes to take high-resolution pictures of each slice. Finally, another team at Princeton University used artificial intelligence and machine learning to reconstruct the cells and connections into a 3D volume. Combined with the recordings of the brain activity, the result is the largest wiring diagram and functional map of the brain to date, containing more than 200 cells, 4 kilometers of axons, the branches that reach out to other cells, and 523 million synapses, the connection points between cells. In that tiny speck is an entire architecture like an exquisite forest, said Clay Reed, PhD, senior investigator, and one of the early founders of the electron microscopy connectonomics, who brought this area of science to the Allen Institute 32 years ago. It has all sorts of rules of connections that we knew from various parts of neuroscience, and with the reconstruction itself we can now test old theories and hope to find new things that no one has ever seen before. The findings from the studies reveal new cell types, characteristics, organizational and functional principles, and a new way to classify cells. Among the most surprising findings was the discovery of a new principle of inhibition within the brain. Scientists previously thought of inhibitory cells, those that suppress neural activity, as a simple force that dampens the action of other cells. However, researchers have discovered a far more sophisticated level of communication. Inhibitory cells are not random in their actions. Instead, they are highly selective about the excitatory cells they target, creating a network-wide system of coordination and cooperation. Some inhibitory cells work together, suppressing multiple excitatory cells, while others are more precise, targeting only specific types. This is the future of many ways, explained Andreas Tolius, PhD, one of the lead scientists who worked on this project at both the Baylor College of Medicine and Stanford University. Microns will stand as a landmark where we build brain foundation models that span many levels of analysis, beginning from the behavioral level to the representational level of neural activity, and even to the molecular level. What this means for science and medicine. Understanding the brain's form and function and the ability to analyze the detailed connection between neurons at an unprecedented scale opens up new possibilities for studying the brain and intelligence. It also has implications for disorders like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, autism, schizophrenia, involving disruptions in neural communication. If you have a broken radio and you have the circuit diagram, you'll be in a much better position to fix it, said Nunu DeCosta, PhD. We are describing a kind of a Google map or blueprint of this grain of sand. In future, we will use this to compare the brain wiring of a healthy mouse to the brain wiring of a model of disease. The Microns project is a collaborative effort of more than 150 scientists and researchers from the Allen Institute, Princeton, Harvard, Baylor College and Medicine, Baylor College of Medicine and Stanford, and many others. Doing this kind of large team scale requires a lot of cooperation, said Forrest Coleman, PhD. It requires people to dream big and to agree to tackle problems that aren't obviously solvable, and that's how advances happen. The Brain Institute plays a critical role in bringing together scientists from various disciplines to perform complex and challenging research that cannot be achieved in isolation, said John Nagy, PhD, Director of the Brain Initiative. Basic science building blocks, like how the brain is wired, are the foundation we need to better understand brain injury and disease, to bring treatments and cures closer to clinical use. A map of the neural connectivity, form and function from a grain of sand-sized portion of the brain is not just a scientific marvel, but a step toward understanding the elusive origins of thought, emotion and consciousness. The impossible task, first envisioned by Francis Crick in 1979, is now one step closer to reality. For more information, if you're interested in this, look up the Machine Intelligence from Cortel Networks, and the website is www.microns, microns-explorer.org. Well, I found that very interesting. I think we'll close the bulletin now. Thank you to everyone out there for listening. We trust that you've enjoyed the bulletin. Please feel free to give comments or any constructive criticism. Thank you to the stations that assisted with relays and the broadcasting, and to those who contribute to the content from time to time. Join us again next Sunday at 8:45 a.m. for the regular bulletin of the Sandton Amateur Radio Club. This ends the weekly club station for the Sandton Amateur Club, ZS6STN, which was operated today from the shack of Stuart ZR1WT. Thanks to all our listeners and 73. ZS6STN now releases all frequencies for general use.